Hi guys, this is Nez. In today's lesson on the challenge, we're going to be talking Twitter. If you are brand new to the challenge or new to Twitter, this is the perfect lesson for you. We'll get you signed up for a Twitter account, show you some of the features of Twitter, and basically get your head around how the service works. And if you are a challenge or Twitter veteran and you've already got a Twitter account, this will still be a valuable lesson because in recent times Twitter's undergone quite a few changes. Brand new website, some changes to old features as well as some new features. So let's go and have a look at the lesson. Now if you are brand new to Twitter, obviously the very first thing you need to do is sign up for an account. So the best way to do that is to head over to the Twitter website, which is twitter.com, and you'll be presented with this screen. It's pretty straightforward. You just pop in your name, and for myself I'll just create a little test account here for you, and an email address I set up just for this. There's on Twitter at gmail.com. An email to be used once and never used again. And I'll put in a password for myself. Now after you click the sign up button, you'll be presented with some options for a username that you can use. Now andrew-nesbitt is available, so I'm guessing we'll stick with andrew-nesbitt, which is fine, and I will click on create my account. And as you can see, I've just finished the sign up process, and the first thing that Twitter is going to do is recommend some people for me to follow. Now what we actually want you to do here is not follow any of these people because it won't be relevant and it could get overwhelming quite quickly, so we'll leave that alone. And we'll just click on the Twitter icon to take ourselves back to the home page. And it's giving us lots of information on ways that we can add various things to our accounts, but we don't really need to do any of that just now. So this is my homepage for my brand new account, and as you can see it's pretty dull at the moment, quite bare, but that's fine. That's something you can have a play with and work out later on. Now as soon as you sign up for Twitter, you'll also have received an email to the email address that you used when signing up, and that email address will look exactly like this, and there will be a confirmation link in that email that you'll need to click in order to activate the email to the account correctly in order for you to get updates and things via Twitter to your email address. We'll just get that out of the way. Now it does look quite bare at the moment, but what you can immediately do to start rectifying that is go up to the right hand top corner and click on settings, and there are a range of options in here on basically setting up your profile and creating a little avatar for yourself and putting in some colors and backgrounds to make it feel a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. You can do that yourself and make it look any way you like, which is terrific, but we'll go back to our homepage for now. Initially all we really want you to do is to add some key Twitter accounts to your own profile that you've just created in order to keep up to date with the challenge. So we'll have a look first for Ed Dale, which is ed_Dale. So there's Ed's account there. We'll click on him, and what we want to do is follow Ed. So immediately we click on that button, your freshly created Twitter account is now following Ed. Now it also gives you lots of recommendations every time you do things now. Twitter's gotten a little bit carried away with recommending who you should be following at different times, so try and ignore all of those for the time being unless somebody really interesting pops up. So we're now following Ed, and we'll also follow the challenge account. So we'll pop in challenge. There's the challenge over here. Now you can actually click on the link there and go to the challenge account, or you can just click on the follow button, which we'll do. We're now following the challenge. We'll just check that to make sure. You can see we're following. And we'll also follow, while we're here, we'll just quickly follow Guru Bob. There he is, we'll follow him, and we'll also follow Dan, which is Dan Rain, not Dab Rain, as I've just cleverly typed in here. There's Dan, and we'll click on the follow. So we've followed 4 key accounts just there, so if we click back on the home page now, we'll notice that our timeline is actually a lot more interesting than it was before. We've got some Twitter updates there, which is fascinating. Now I'm just going to take you over to another screen to show you what an established account looks like. Now the first thing we'll do is take a look at Ed's Twitter account, and you can see on Ed's Twitter page here it's quite an active account. Here is all of the latest tweets that Ed has done, as well as people who've retweeted things that Ed has already done updates about. And along here you can see tweets that Ed's favorited. You can have a look at the accounts Ed is following, view a list of all the people he's following, or view it as a timeline. You can have a look at all the people who are following Ed, and you can also have a look at Ed's Twitter lists. And over here you can see that he's done over 15,000 tweets since he's been on Twitter. He's got 132 people that he's following himself, and he's edging up towards 50,000 followers, as well as being on almost 2,000 different lists, and lists is something we'll get to a little bit later. Now looking down the panel a bit further, we can see all of the images that Ed has recently updated, and we can also see accounts that, well, I'm actually logged in as myself at the moment on the other tab, but these are accounts that Ed and I both follow. And we've also got the recommendations like we were talking about before, where there are accounts that Twitter feels are similar to Ed's that we might want to follow. And obviously at the moment we're not going to follow any of those accounts. Now the other thing we need to have a look at is what a Twitter account actually looks like if it's your own and you're logged into your account at the time. So we're going to flick over to my account. So this is my personal Twitter account, and it's, as you can see, it's quite different. It doesn't have quite as much information up top, because all it really wants you to do is use that field to enter in your own tweets. And you can also add your location and add an image when you do a tweet. Now it's showing in my timeline all the people who've most recently done updates, and then we can have a look at tweets that have mentioned me in the last couple of days, retweets by others, retweets by me, as well as my own tweets that have been retweeted by people. I've got custom searches set up in here, and in my lists I've actually got quite a long group of lists. Now these are all people that I have followed for various reasons, and I've actually added their Twitter accounts to various lists, so I can actually follow a particular list instead of the timeline, and I can get a more drilled down or filtered view of what's going on at any particular time. So at the moment, if I wanted to go and have a look at team, which is the core team that works on the challenge, that's just going to show all of the updates on Twitter from the people who are in the challenge team. Pretty cool. So we'll go back to timeline for a second. Now of course it's showing you people that I follow, so being logged in myself, that's nothing exactly earth-shattering for me because I know who I'm following. But it also shows me how many people are following me, so I get a bit of an idea of who the people are there, and I can actually click on that follower link there and see who those people are. If there's people that I've missed that I should be following myself, I can do so. And it also lets me know what the last tweet I actually did myself was, which was to retweet a link by Mark, who is a friend of mine from the UK. Now, looking further down on the right hand side, we can see what's trending worldwide, and these are phrases or hashtag phrases that have been used worldwide to basically get a lot of people talking about the same thing. So for the challenge, we've got the hashtag TCH, so that's hashtag TCH, and if you just enter that into Twitter, you can follow along with what people are doing in the challenge. Now last year we also had a hashtag which worked pretty well, and it was quite successful. People used that quite effectively, so it was a very good way for you to keep up to date with what other people were doing on the challenge, and I would recommend doing that this year as well. You can even set that up as a custom search so that you can drill down and have a look at a filtered list in the same way that you could do with lists. So that's pretty straightforward, not much there, and I'll just quickly take you back to the brand new account and show you a couple of last minute things that you need to do to get going. As you can see, we're now back on our freshly created Twitter account, and there's just the last couple of steps we'll need to go through. The first of which is pretty important, and that is a way for you to actually communicate with other people on Twitter. And the way you do that is by the use of the @ symbol. So you just put in the @ and then the name of the Twitter account that you want to get in touch with, and in this case we're going to get in touch with Ed, and our little message is going to be, "Can't wait for the challenge to get started." And that will be our very first message on Twitter. And as you can actually see, Twitter's already recommending what the first 3 steps would be. Step 1 is our first tweet. We've just written it, so let's send it. And there you go, we've sent our very first tweet on our brand new account. Now the second step was to modify your profile so it looked a bit nicer. Now we've already showed you earlier in this video how to do that, so we don't need to cover that right now. But probably the most important thing is to actually work out how you're going to be using Twitter on a daily basis. A lot of people still use the Twitter website to do that, but there is also quite a lot of people out there who use various mobile devices to do it instead. And the way to get to that is to go to the download a Twitter application to your phone link, so we'll just go there right now. And as you can see, Twitter offers different Twitter clients on a range of devices. Now for myself, I'd be putting a Twitter client on the iPhone and the iPad, but if you're an Android, BlackBerry, or even a Windows 7 user, or Windows Phone 7 user, there are clients out there for you as well. So all you really need to do is click on the appropriate link, and it will show you where you can download that application, get it onto your phone, and all you need to do then is to enter in your account details into the application of your choice, and you can start following along with Twitter right there. And we'll also link some suggested Twitter applications that you can be using in the resources for this video. So I hope that was informative, and I will talk to you later.